Last year, someone came to me and addressed her concerns about Father's Day. In fact, she told me, Pastor Mark, do you know that Father's Day is not a celebration to all of us? A part of me sympathized with her, and another part of me was questioning what was happening in her life. And after some discussion, I realized that she was a feminist, and she had some issues with Father's Day. So today I'm going to talk about fathers and Father's Day. In fact, how to celebrate Father's Day in the feminist world. This episode is part of The Forge. As part of Mike and Christelle podcast, The Forge is the program that my wife and I designed to talk about men issues. And we allocate one episode every month that we address and we discuss straight talk about men. If you haven't subscribed to our podcast, I would like you to click the subscribe button. It really means a lot to us. I will share my opinion on feminism, on Father's Day, and how I believe men should respond to the feminism movement. So don't jump to conclusions until you finish this episode. In my view, and after a lot of research, I concluded that there are two groups of feminists, or the feminist movement is divided into two groups. One group is made of those people who are passionate about what they stand for. They are passionate about what they are fighting for. And we can give an example. They are fighting for the equality of men and women, like equality of genders. There is also another group which is passionate about what they are fighting against, or they are passionate about what they stand against. For example, they are fighting or they stand against patriarchy, or they are standing against toxic masculinity and other things that they stand against. So you see that it depends on which feminists you are talking to and what they are passionate about. Some of them are passionate about what they stand for, and some of them are passionate about what they stand against, and some of them are somewhere in the middle. So when we are talking about Father's Day, it can be really hard sometimes for people who did not have a great experience with their fathers, or people who had bad experiences with male figures in their lives. On one hand, I sympathize with people, with them. I even feel like apologizing on behalf of men when I meet someone who has been abused, or someone who has been raped, or someone who has been, who had bad experiences with men. I really feel like apologizing on behalf of men. So when I meet someone who had bad experiences, and to be honest, those kind of men, they are not worthy of celebration. On the other hand, I understand that celebrating Father's Day it's really a great thing, and it's not mandatory. So those who had great fathers, great brothers, or great male figures in their lives, they take this day seriously, because they find that it's an opportunity for them to celebrate those male figures and for whatever they have done. So I want to start by saying that all men aren't evil. All men are not evil. Most men are great people. Most men work hard to protect their families. Most men work hard to provide for their families. Most men, they take risks for their families. So these men should be celebrated. These men who take risks, who care for their families, they deserve to be celebrated. There is a reason to celebrate them. But not all men are great. Some men are not great. Some men are bad people. And I agree that bad people exist. We have people who have failed. Unfortunately, all men are not great. So some men have caused serious damage to our society. And that's true, to the point where they inspired the feminism movement. In my opinion, the feminism movement was born out of the failure, as a result of the failure of some men. And there's no argument there. It's true that there were mistakes, there were some bad things that happened, and women felt like it was necessary to fight against that. Not only women, and some men joined the movement to fight the injustice, inequality that existed between men and women. So I believe that good men should be celebrated. So to the young boys out there who are learning how to become real men, and to my fellow men, other men out there who want to live right, I would like to suggest two thoughts, two ideas to you, so that you can earn the Father's Day celebration. I would like to suggest two thoughts to you so that you can be worthy of celebration. To all current and future biological fathers, adoptive fathers, foster fathers, spiritual fathers, and all male figures, do these two things and you will earn your right to be celebrated. 1, be present. 2, be relevant. I will repeat that again. Be present. 2, be relevant. What do I mean by be present? Your presence involves both physical presence and emotional or mental presence. Be physically present. Be there for your family, for your children, for your wife, for your family. Be there. Be present. Even if you don't live in the same city, or you travel a lot, or you don't live in the same town or the same country, make phone calls, brother. Make phone calls. Be present. Today we have the blessing of technology. Make phone calls. Call on Skype. Use Zoom. Be present. Someone said only a 30-minute attention, full attention to your child can be enough to make them feel you are present per day, every day. Be present. Before you go to bed, make sure you have a few minutes to talk to them, even if over the phone. And if you're in the house, go to them and speak to them. Be present. Be present. Make sure you are present. And you know, our children, if you have kids, our children are different. So each one of them expect you to be present in a different way. Pay attention and be present to each one of them in different ways as they respond to you. So the first thing is be physically present. Remember their sport events. Remember their birthdays. Remember your kid's birthday, all the people in your lives. Your spouse's birthday. Man, remember your wife's birthday. Remember their school events. Remember their practices. Remember if they go to do things in the afternoon after school to visit friends. Remember all those small details of their lives. Even if you are not taking them there, make a phone call. Make sure they understand it matters to you. Make sure they understand those programs or those small events matter to you. Be present. And another thing, be emotionally present, not only physically present, be mentally present, which means give your full attention when you are there. Be there, be present. Don't let that TV show or that sports program on TV or that's game or whatever you are doing, you are playing, to stand between you and your child or between you and your family. Be present. Most men would claim that they are busy with work and they provide for their families. So when they come home, they want to relax and they just want to spend time for themselves. It sounds like a good idea, but I'm telling you, your family doesn't need just your money. Your family doesn't need just your money. Your family needs you as a person. I'm telling you, your presence matters. Be present. So the second point, be relevant. Be relevant to your children. So most of the time, men think that because they provide, they are relevant. I know most men strive to pay the bills and to buy stuff for their families. Most good men do that. But I'm telling you, providing money or gift or paying the bills is not enough for your family. It doesn't make you necessarily relevant in the life of your child. And I will tell you why. You don't get to define your relevance. Your family does. You don't get to define what makes you relevant to them. They should be the one to define it. So, when you define your own relevance, you get to decide what to do for them. You say, I will buy this for them, I will do this for them, then it makes me relevant to them. But when you listen to them, when you pay attention to their needs, you will realize that you will allow them to define what is relevant to them, what makes you relevant to them. So they will tell you what you should do so that they may feel that you are relevant in their lives. So sometimes the gift and the money, it's not what the kids feel like is relevant to them. The point I'm making here is, let your family define what is relevant to them. And I'm not talking about give them what they want. No. I think you will regret it if you give them what they want. I'm talking about their needs. Pay attention to their needs. It will make you relevant to them. Pay attention to their need. Do not define your own relevance. Let them define your relevance. Let them define what they would like you to be doing in their lives. That means pay attention to their emotional needs. Pay attention to their spiritual needs. Pay attention to their also physical and financial needs. So it's not just about providing financially, it's also about paying attention to other needs that will make you relevant in their lives. Listen to your family, listen to your spouse, listen to your children, listen to them. Listen to them. If you listen to your family, you will understand that paying the bills does not make you relevant. Paying the bill does not make you a good father. Paying the bill is part of it, but it doesn't make you necessarily a good husband or a good father. But paying attention makes you a good father and a good husband. So, two things. Be present. Two, be relevant. Be present physically and emotionally or mentally. Two, be relevant by paying attention to the needs of your children or your spouse and your family in general. So if you do this, you will earn the right to be celebrated on Father's Day. Father's Day is a day we celebrate men who have made a difference in our lives. Father's Day is a day we celebrate men who were present when we needed them the most. Father's Day is a day we celebrate men who were relevant, or who are relevant. I celebrate Father's Day myself because I recognize the work that men have done throughout history. I recognize the work that men have done, and mostly my own father. Even though I did not grow up with my father, who died when I was 2 months old, I could still feel the presence of the results, the legacy he left behind in my childhood. I could still see that my father lived a good life. He was relevant. He was relevant in the community. He was relevant in my family. In conclusion, be present and be relevant. You will earn the right to be celebrated. You will earn the right to be celebrated on Father's Day. Did you know that anytime you share any of our content on social media, one potential family gets healthier? And also remember to follow Mike and Christelle on Instagram and Facebook. And remember, when family is healthy, the nation is healthy. See you next time.